deadline first because it closes on the 31st of July 2026. So if you are watching this the day it goes up, you have 8 days. So now a lot of you asked me for robotics PhD. Someone left it that in the comments a while back, and I've been waiting for one worth making a full video about it. This is it. The University of Skövde in Sweden is recruiting a doctoral student in information technology focused on AI for industrial robotics, 4 years and full time. And here's the thing I want to set up right at the start because it changes how you should think about this and about basically every opportunity I cover in Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland. This is not a scholarship, okay? This is a job. So stay with me because I'm going to explain exactly what that means financially, then break down the research, the eligibility, which is wider than you would expect, and the specific skill combination that is going to decide who actually gets this position. So welcome back to Scholarships channel. We get across with fully funded PhDs, research opportunities, master's opportunities, and youth and global opportunities. So why a Swedish PhD, and why I said that it is not a scholarship. Okay, so in this section, if you take one thing from this video, then you need to take this. In most of the world, a funded PhD works like this, that you are a student, someone gives you a scholarship or a stipend, and that money covers your fees and hopefully something to live on. So you are formally a student receiving support. In Sweden, that's not the structure at all. A doctoral position is an employment contract. You are not a student receiving an award, you are an employee of the university, doing a job which happens to be research and which happens to result in a doctorate at the end. Look at how this advert is written. It describes the employment type. It says the position is fixed term until the completion of the doctoral degree, but not more than 4 years. It says the scope of the position is 100%. That's the language of a full-time contract. It says salary is paid according to the local agreement on salary scales for doctoral students. And it lists union contacts because as an employee, you would have union representation. That is a job advert. It reads like a job advert because it is one. So now what does that actually mean for you? It means no tuition fees because you're not going to pay to be there. You're being paid to be studying. Okay, so it means a monthly salary rather than a stipend. It means that the employment benefits that come with being employed in Sweden, and it means that when you apply, you're applying for a role, not competing for an award. Okay, so let me talk to you about the research. So AI for industrial robotics. So what will you be actually doing in this? The project is all about developing intelligent, adaptive, safe industrial robot systems. Specifically, it investigates how industrial robots can be further developed using different forms of AI, and note this, both traditional AI and neural network based methods, to improve 4 things, that is adaptability, safety, human comfort, and resilience. I want to pull out human comfort for a second because it's an unusual thing. Is to see it in a robotics advert. It tells you that this isn't robots working alone in a cage. This is about robots and people sharing a workspace. And the research question is partly about making that experience tolerable and safe for the human being standing next to a machine that could hurt them. The research areas they list are AI for robot perception, including vision system, human recognition, modeling of human intentions, so a robot predicting what the person nearby is about to do, planning robot actions, and maintaining production efficiency while all of that is happening. That last one is the constraint that makes it hard and makes it industrially relevant. It's not enough to make the robot safe and adaptive. It has to stay fast enough to be worth using. The degree itself is awarded in the area of informatics. Skövde defines informatics as the science of how information is represented, processed, and communicated in artificial and natural systems, and how those systems get used and developed to produce useful applications for individuals, organizations, and society. So it's a broad applied framing rather than a narrow computer science one. And on the department itself, they make a real point about industrial collaboration, modern facilities, and a strong track record of applied research. They describe engineering programs with industries partnership and internship routes. So if you want your PhD to end with industry options rather than only academic ones, then the context is going to be this one, and this is a very brilliant opportunity. So I'm going to just formally explain you the eligibility. Okay, so there are two academic requirements. They are written in Swedish credit language, which might confuse people. Requirement 1 is you need a completed degree advanced level, that's a master's, or completed course requirement of at least 240 credits, which are at least 60 or at the advanced level. Or, and this matters, you have in some other way acquired essentially equivalent knowledge inside or outside Sweden. Those are ECTS credits. 240 credits is roughly 4 years of full-time higher education, and 60 at advanced level is roughly a year at master's level. So in plain terms, a master's degree or an integrated program that you got to the equivalent point. Okay, and or the equivalent knowledge acquired outside Sweden. This statement is generally there for international applicants. Your qualification doesn't need to have been earned in the Sweden, it needs to be equivalent. Second requirement is at least 60 credits, including an independent thesis of at least 15 credits at advanced level in the subject of information technology or a related application area, or another subject area considered directly relevant. And then they list what counts. Okay, so like computer science, information technology, production technology, industrial technology, automation technology, or the other relevant subject areas. Read that list again, because this is the part where people wrongly disqualify themselves. Production technology and industrial technology are on there, automation technology is on there, and if your degree is in manufacturing engineering, mechatronics, control engineering, industrial automation, you are potentially in the scope. This is not a computer science only position, and give what they are assessing, that's like kind of deliberate position. Third requirement is of course English. You need documented English equivalent to the Swedish upper secondary course, that is English 6. If you don't have that, they accept internationally recognized tests and they name the thresholds, that is IELTS total 6.5, TOEFL total 90, PTE total 62. So if you don't have a valid test result, check this now, not on the 30th. Test slots at short notice are the single most common reason good applications don't get submitted. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what they're actually going to assess you on. Formal eligibility gets you into the pile. Okay, the assessment criteria decides who come out of it. Here's the full list of what they have published and said. First is you need to have good ability to assimilate knowledge at research level. Second is knowledge and experience of modeling and simulation of robotic cells, and they name Robot Studio specifically and digital twins. Third is knowledge of configuration, programming, and commissioning of industrial robots and the associated software. Fourth is good programming skills in Python, C++, or similar. Fifth is knowledge of network communication and integration between different systems like robots, AI, digital twins talking to each other. Sixth is knowledge and experience of machine learning, reinforcement learning, and AI-based optimization for robot control and robot perceptions. Seventh is documented experience of industrial collaboration and practical implementation of research. Eighth is the communication and teamwork skills and documented ability to work independently, plan research, and hit the goals you set. Okay, so in total, there are 9 criterias. Nobody has all 9. Don't panic. Read that list and close the tab. Okay, I mean, like, you're going to put out what you have. It's not necessary that you need to have everything. Okay, because here's the thing, they told us outright that I don't think most applicants will notice it. That word does say that in this position, great importance will be placed on 2 things specifically. One is good knowledge and experience of machine learning, reinforcement learning, and AI-based optimization for robot control and robot perception. Second is good knowledge of configuring, programming, and commissioning industrial robots and the associated software. They singled out 2 of the 9. That's your instruction manual. Okay, and look at what these 2 are. One is algorithm, the AI side, and the other is hands-on. This is a physical shop floor robot work, actually setting up and commissioning a robotic cell and all that stuff. Those 2 skill sets very rarely in the same person. The machine learning people usually have an commissioned a robot. The automation engineers usually have an implemented reinforcement learning, and that gap is exactly why this position is hard to fill, and it's exactly where opportunity is. So practically, if you have both, even unevenly, say you are strong on machine learning and you have done a placement or an internship where your program was on real industrial robots, you need to make that pairing the headline of your entire application, not buried in a bullet or off on page 2 of your CV. So in the first paragraph of your personal letter, okay, so if you only have one side of it, apply anyways, but be strategic, name the gap and show you're closing it. Okay, a machine learning candidate who has taught themselves robots 2D and built a simulated robot cell is telling a much better story than one who hopes nobody notices. And a robotic engineer who has completed serious machine learning coursework and has a project to show for it is doing the same thing from the other direction. So they also want documented industrial collaboration and practical implementation of research. Documented is the operative word. If you have worked with a company, name the company and name what shipped. Okay, so what are the documents that you require? 6 things, and one of them has a rule attached. First is a personal letter, including a statement of interest, which is written in English, of course. Explain your motivation, your research interests, and your expectations of the doctoral program. Second is a CV. Third is the certificates, your diplomas, and other supporting documents that you want to submit. Fourth is a degree certificate and grade transcript. Fifth is a degree project at master's level, so your master's thesis, have the file ready. Sixth is a relevant publications, and here's the rule: if you have publication that can't be attached electronically, then you contact the HR department directly, and those publications must reach the university no later than 1 week after the application deadline. So there is a small amount of flexibility there, but only for the specific situation and only for publications. Everything else goes in time. Now, how to apply? Step by step. The application goes to the university's own job portal. You find the advert and there's an apply button at the bottom, as you can see on the screen. I've linked the listing page in the description. Step 1, go to the official advert, read it yourself. I'm summarizing and the adverts get updated. Step 2, quote the reference number HS 2026/468 on anything you send separately. Step 3, get your English test evidence sorted if you don't really have it. Step 4, write the personal letter, which we'll do next. Step 5, assemble every document, upload and submit it. And if you have a real question about the research, there are 2 name contacts on the advert: the head of department and an associate professor who works in this area. There are also union contacts listed, which again tells you in this that this is an employment process. Take the contact details from the official advert rather than from me. Writing the personal letter, okay, I will just say, don't be vague, write your motivation correctly, describe your research interests, okay, be specific as much as possible. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Applications are going to close on the 31st of July 2026. Reference HS 2026/486, 4 years, 100% full-time salaried, PhD awarded in informatics, based at the University of Skövde Department of Engineering. If you have the AI side and any real exposure to industrial robots, then this is genuinely worth 8 days of your effort. If your background is in production, industrial automation technology, and you assumed a position with AI in the title wasn't for you, go back and read the eligibility list because you're on it. Always check the official advert before you apply. Link is in the description. And to whoever asked me for robotics PhDs, thank you. This video exists because of that comment. So keep telling me what you want covered, because I do build videos from them. I have a full list for the upcoming month, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck if you apply, and I'll see you in the next one.